Hey man, what's up? And welcome back to the Q Perspective. Man, as I prepare for the 2023-24 NBA season to begin in a couple of weeks, I've been thinking to myself, what was the last real rivalry in the NBA? You know what I mean? The last intense rivalries that I could think of that actually lasted more than a year and had great energy around it was the Cleveland and Golden State rivalry. I'll even include the Rockets and Golden State. They had some nice matchups, even into the regular season. Their games were highly anticipated, and they gave us some great moments. Since that era, there really hasn't been a consistent rivalry, nor champion for that matter, and that's due to the player movement and the player empowerment. With that brings, no type of continuity in the game anymore. So the Lakers and the Clippers are the only thing that really come to mind, but those teams never matched up in the playoffs since the inception of AD and Braun and Kawhi and PG. There's a lot of things wrong with the NBA right now. We can go with load management. We can go with the diva stars and antics. We can go with the non-competitiveness that's going on, and even the political stances that they choose to go on. All those things are really being a detriment to the NBA right now. But I want to focus and use this video to touch on the rivalry element or the lack thereof. As we can see, this is first things first with Chris Broussard, Chris Haynes, and Chris Wiley. My bad, Chris Wiley, and as well as Nick Wright or Nick Wrong, depending on how you view the dude. So they're gonna give their perspective on this, and I'll share my perspective. Plus, I'll give my predictions for the upcoming season.
After being dispatched in last year's Western Conference Finals, Lakers are eager to avenge.
Yes, them boys got swept. The boys got mopped up last season, and they want to talk about this a competitive sweep. Like, what is that? When you ever heard of that before? And this was in a competitive sweep. That wasn't even a sweep where it's like, or a competitive matchup where it was like, okay, yo, them boys coming, they on the way. Like them boys got swept, and I didn't see anything that showed any promise of like, okay, they may do something. So, take that with what you will.
Their losses and the trash talk coming out of Denver. Quick review. After LeBron pondered retirement, Mike Malone went on McAfee and said, "Hey, speaking of the Lakers, I just want you guys to know this is breaking news. I'm thinking about retiring, so don't tell anybody."
Bro, this brother Mike Malone, this dude had his best Wicker White boy impression going on at the ceremony when they won the ring. That man, he was dripped out. He had the black, quote unquote, black vernacular going on too. It was funny, dog. It was funny as hell. You could tell the man was lit. The man was lit.
But he had a good laugh. Except LeBron, that is, who went to Instagram, said, "By the way, enjoy your life, and just know I'm the sun. I stay on forever." There are
The narcissism of this dude is crazy, bro. I'm telling you, this nigga called himself the sun. Like this nigga gotta be the center of attention, bro. This nigga just ooze with narcissism, man. This shit is crazy. But let me say this though. Michael Malone, he was an assistant coach on that Cavs team from '05 to 2010. So he was up close, during that time period and up close and personal with LeBron. And he was able to actually witness LeBron day in and day out. And he also witnessed those playoff flameouts that happened during that short time period, that 5 year span at least. He saw him in the finals against the Spurs where he got swept there. He saw him in '08 against the Magic where he flamed out there. And he also saw him in 2010 where he flamed out against the Celtics. So, those things kind of help guide um his words when he was giving an interview in the bubble, Michael Malone that is, where he was talking about the GOAT debate and all that. And he pretty much said that LeBron doesn't have that killer mentality. He just don't, and he don't. That's pretty evident right now. We already know that. So he had some personal experience that helped guide those words. So is there's no love lost between those two. That's what I mean by that. There's no love lost between that two. But that serves for good entertainment in the NBA. This is something that's really needed in the NBA. We need at least some modicum of competitiveness because it's damn near dead in the NBA right now.
some more fatalistic things. The sun eventually will burn out.
He's not saying it like, yeah, I'm glad we got the Nuggets first night.
Oh,
I'm gonna give him a little leeway on that. But the comment, it wasn't a braggadocious comment. But AD saying, yeah, LeBron and I have talked about it. It's putting the Lakers in a position where, look, it's one of 82. So there's nothing gonna come out of the first game. But it's kind of like, oh, y'all that upset? LeBron and AD have had conversations about the Nuggets chirping. Austin Reeves says, yeah, we want them in game one. You better win. Because Denver, it's not going to matter to Denver. They're going to come out there.
Yeah, he definitely putting pressure on the Lakers to win this game. He putting pressure on the team, LeBron that is. And I really believe from my perspective, that's why he said in those comments in that media day not too long ago that Anthony Davis is the face of the franchise. So if they do fail now, all the blame is gonna go on AD. It's like, hey, you're the face of the franchise. You're supposed to be next. Even though I do believe AD should be the face of the franchise, but we also have to ask: is LeBron really letting him do that? You know, LeBron's saying all this word salad. He's saying all the right things in the media that AD up next and all that, but on the court, is he really looking for AD to do that, or is LeBron still trying to stat pad? Is he still trying to make this the LeBron system in his old 21-year age or 21-year season? So, you got to think about those things too.
We'll see how they play, but win or lose, no big deal to them. Now the Lakers have talked all this smack, made it a big game. You better win, because if you don't, then it's going to be like, oh,
and here's the thing. I think people misremember. Like, why did the Nuggets sweep the Lakers in the Western Conference Final?
Let me answer that for you, Nick. Wrong. They had the better duo of players, the Nuggets that being Jokic and Murray. The Lakers, they didn't know how to close those games out. Most of the games were in the margin of five points to up to 7 or 8 points. So the games were winnable by the Lakers end, but again, and this is a ideal or thought that's been in the atmosphere forever, around LeBron, is that he don't have that clutch gene. He don't know how to close out games. Now in the 2018 playoffs, he did show that clutch ability during that whole playoffs, especially against the Toronto, against the Pacers. But again, those were lower level teams. The Pacers, they had Oladipo, that was their best player. The Raptors, they completely shit the bed against LeBron. Them brothers were scared of LeBron, and we seen that as soon as the Raptors got Kawhi, a player who was even killed, the team won the championship. So not to put any, demerit on what LeBron did during that 2018 playoffs, but he's shown a large resume of him not really showing up in those big moments. So we got to think about that too. And then AD ain't a dog, so I don't expect him to show up for those moments either. So who's going to be that closer when they have those close games? They got enough talent around them. They have enough pieces where they can keep up in the game. They can play well. They got a nice young core as well there too, so they can keep up in the game now. But say they have those games where they're close, who's going to be their closer? And you need that in the playoffs game, because the playoff games get harder and harder. People get more, detailed into matchups. They get more detailed into, how to stop a certain player, how to stop a certain scheme. So, you got to get more detailed into that. And honestly, I don't see Darvin Ham as well being that, logistical when it comes to the coaching prowess. I don't see that at all. So I don't see the Lakers really doing anything in the playoffs. I believe they're gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna do anything in the playoffs.
Finals. I think what everyone remembers is Darvin Ham being like, "We'll be all right," and the Rui stuff or whatever it is. Joker was obviously great in that series. He was great in every series. He was great all year. He was sensational. The reason that series went the way it did was because Jamal Murray had one of the greatest conference finals in NBA history. Not an exaggeration. He was 33, 6, 5, and 3 on 50, 40, 95 splits. For a little context, any conference final, all of NBA history. Only LeBron, Kobe, Steph, Akeem, and shout out Amari Stoudemire have ever averaged more points in a conference finals than Jamal Murray did in that one. So if you're the Lakers, I think you look at it and say, we have more continuity. We added a time.
All right, so let me stop Nick right there. Murray did play incredible and gave us some amazing shots during that playoff series. He shot this one consistent shot over LeBron it was just spectacular. Like LeBron had his hand all up in his face. I bet he had he had that boy PTSD when KD shot that shit over his face. But when Murray shot that shot, all Braun could do was just get a nigga a thumbs up, because it was a hard shot, man, and he made it. It was They just had a whole bunch of spectacular shots. Even Jokic had some spectacular threes he made. It was great. But I don't think his playoff play was an aberration. This isn't some bubble play like the 2020 Lakers. You feel me? Like this ain't no AD LeBron bubble. Like this was in a regular finals, not finals, but conference finals matchup. You had the fans, you had that atmosphere and everything. So the Nuggets, as well as Murray, they're rising. They're on their way up. And the brother's going to continue to be special. Let's not forget for the series itself, LeBron shot 7 of 26 from the three. That's 27 fucking percent, bro. The nigga shot 27% from the three. And during the last game of the series, he tried to get his points. He got 40 points, and he started to drive a little bit and more. But as he get older, he's going to continue to shoot more and more threes because he's going to try to conserve his energy more and more. And the brother don't really play off the ball really, and I don't think they really have a real point guard there to control it. So it's gonna still be that LeBron system to a certain degree there. So we got to think about that too in the matchup. So I mean, and also AD, the face of the franchise, was sometime with his play as well. We already know how he can play good sometimes, and the next day he want to be an average player. He did average about 27 points for the series, and he played relatively well. He shot 50% from the three, but he only attempted four and made two. So that's not just something very big. I'm just not gonna let Nick Wrong try to bring down the Nuggets and in an attempt to try to bring the Lakers to their level. But the Lakers not on their level. The Nuggets aren't on another level. They have the better duo of players and they have the better coach. So I see that. That's Nuggets. If they match up against them again, I think the Lakers could probably get a win. They could probably get one win, but I think it'll just be about 5 games. It may not be a sweep. It'd be a gentleman's sweep. So I don't see much change when they match up. But I can't wait to see them match up in the first game of the season. That's gonna be like I said, that's gonna be excitement. It's gonna be entertaining. This may not be a long rivalry, over the course of the couple of seasons, but like I said, this brings great entertainment and great excitement into the NBA. So we can't wait to watch it.
He bit this off season while the Nuggets lost a critical piece
Right.
in Bruce. Not super critical, but an important piece in Bruce Brown. That if we run that thing back and Jamal Murray just plays A level instead of super duper he averaged more points in that conference. Guy. I know, but Brew, he averaged more points in that conference finals than Michael Jordan ever averaged in any conference finals. That's probably not going to happen.
See, that man's so funny because I tell you, if LeBron averaged that in that conference finals, or AD averaged that in that conference finals, like he wasn't sometimey, he would not say that was an aberration, or he would not be speaking as if it was an aberration. He would be saying that was one of the greatest performances ever. Is better than the names he names, better than what Michael Jordan has ever done in a playoff when it comes to averaging points. Even though this is an inflated offensive time period that we live in now, so I kind of look at those points, almost on the curve because there's no defense and there's nobody in the lane as well, and it's this 3-point barrage that's going on in the league now. So you got I look at that, me personally, as on the curve. So when you try to match that up with players of the past, you got to put that into context with what was the average points during that time, and how people had, or how players got their points, things of that nature. But Nick Wright, that man's funny. He's definitely a troll. He know what he needs to do especially when you talk about his favorite players and how he can prop them up. He's very skillful in a term of what they call playing dirty pool.
I know the scoring is different. I understand that, but so I think the Lakers, and I think
and I don't think you do, brother. I don't think you do understand that. I think you do understand that, but you know that you can manipulate it in a way to to prop up certain players. In this case, you're not gonna prop up Murray with it. It's an aberration, right? Let me go back a little bit so we can get everything he's saying in context.
All of NBA history. Only LeBron, Kobe, Steph, Hakeem, and shout out Amari Stoudemire have ever averaged more points. in a conference finals than Jamal Murray did in that one. So if you're the Lakers, I think you look at it and say, we have more continuity. We added a tiny bit this offseason while the Nuggets lost a critical piece.
Right.
Not super critical, but an important piece of Bruce Brown. That if we run that thing back and Jamal Murray just plays A level instead of super duper he averaged more points in that conference. Guy. I know, but Brew, he averaged more points in that conference finals than Michael Jordan ever averaged in any conference finals. That's probably not going to happen again. I know the scoring is different. I understand that. But so I think the Lakers, and I think, by the way, the other key for the Lakers having a chance is the guy we heard from. Who on the Lakers do we expect should still be
that's what's interesting.
Is how much better can he be?
And we joke with you about saying that's a big three, but look, he was great against them in the conference.
Yes.
21 points a game, 50% shooting from 3 and overall. And you would think, even though they lost, you would think he would have improved in confidence and ability from his experience with Team USA.
Yes.
So I'm looking for big things from him.
Okay. Denver is still favored by 5.5. Probably.
Thanks for what?
Well, AD ate him. He ate him. Bro, AD, he has a number one ability, but a number two mindset and motor. LeBron, he already knows this. That's why he called AD to be the face of the franchise as a fail safe for the team. So if the team failed this season, everyone's gonna look back at AD like, well, you're the face of the franchise. You need to step up. Even though LeBron already knows he's a number two player, he don't have that dog in him. Majority of the media already know that, but they're not gonna put the blame on LeBron. Westbrook, he's not there anymore, so he's not there to put blame on. So AD is your time to be the scapegoat. You're playing. See, LeBron, he ain't the goat. He's the he's the I cast the scapegoat. That's the type of fucking goat that man is. But man, anyway, what is that foot surgery too, man? What happened about that foot surgery? Another excuse is gonna come up during this season, like scapegoat, excuse after excuse. We already know what's gonna come with this, right? But anyway, I think that rivalries in NBA are pretty much dead at this point. We're probably not gonna see another great rivalry in the NBA because again, with player movement, there's no continuity in the NBA anymore. So, that proponent of it is probably dead, which has taken away the competitiveness, in my opinion. So, these little small things, these little small beefs that kind of come up throughout the season that the media tries to kind of build up, kind of give so much attention to. Like I said, it brings great entertainment to it, so it's gonna make the NBA season a little exciting. The NBA season itself, the regular season, is already a dumpster fire itself. They added this tournament into it. I don't even understand it completely all the way. We're gonna see how that go, but I don't think that's gonna add any excitement to the NBA regular season. These dudes don't want to play no more, man. That's just what it is. So they really got to incentivize these guys to play, and that's a shame. That's a real shame. But anyway, like I said, the rivalries are dead. But for this season, though, I do have the Bucks and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals with Bucks and 6. The Bucks, they do look nice, but I just don't have too much trust in Dame in the playoffs, and I think that they're gonna lose some game against the Celtics, but I think the Bucks can get past the Celtics. I really do. I don't see the Celtics have gotten better. I don't have that much trust in Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Brown, the brother, can't dribble with his left hand. I seen a video on social media the other day. The man was struggling. Not even sure why if the team would even post that video, but maybe it was to put some pressure behind him to get better because that max, what it was about a $200+ million contract he got. So maybe that was the logic behind doing that bullshit. But in the West, I have the Nuggets and the Suns. With the Nuggets in 7, obviously, the Nuggets, they're just a better team. I think they're gonna repeat, but I think it's gonna be Nuggets and the Bucks in the finals, and that's where I will go with. I don't think Dame is gonna be that ready for the finals. Honestly, from my opinion, I think Giannis is gonna play well. I think Dame's gonna play well as two, but I just think the Nuggets have a better coach. I'm not sure who the Bucks coach is. I forgot they got a new coach They fired Budenheiser, whatever how you pronounce the brother name. They fired that dude, and they got a new coach. I'm not sure how he's going to be. I'm not sure what his reputation is, or what his resume is. But as of now, the Nuggets have a better coach. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets in 6, repeating, and I think they're gonna get it again. So pretty much those are my predictions for the season. As Stephen A would say, this list is fluid. This list is fluid, right? So anything can happen. It's gonna be a long season, so things can change. We got injuries, God forbid, but you know what I mean. Shit happens. That's the name of the game. But we'll see. Again, it's gonna be a long season. We're gonna see what happens. So thank y'all for listening to it. See you next time. Peace.